Okay, good day. Okay, we are waiting a little, just some minutes, 1 minute, just for you to connect. I hope that you will come today and we can discuss the topic about diagnostics. I think it will be interesting for us and for you. And I want to show you the main message that you will see when you try to fix things in the with our devices. First, I want to present myself. My name is Pablo Vadillo. I'm engineer, support engineer here in Galileosky. Um, our webinar will be 60 minutes long. After the webinar, you will receive a recording of this webinar that you can see and use as a tool to try to fix things that are not working as expected. And also, I think it will be available in our channel in YouTube that I recommend to visit from time to time. That because we are doing some interesting webinars that it will help you to work with the devices. You can find a question tab and also a chat where you can write your own questions about the topics that we're talking today. So I expect to help you if something cannot be answered today. I hope that we will answer you afterwards. So you can leave your contact or you can write to our mail support at galileosky.com. And there we will try to answer all the questions that you have. First of all, I want to tell you a little about the news that we have today. Our team will be present at GITEX Morocco. They will be presenting our 7X device. You can be in contact with them. You can ask them questions, how to implement some ideas, some new projects. So we are expecting you to be there and to visit us. There you can find the place in which this event is going on right now. So we are hoping to see you. Also here, yeah, thanks Natalia. She's in the chat. You can find the different links to this event and also to our YouTube channel. There's a very interesting new video about how the device works when the terminal detects motion and when it detects that the device is stopped. So it's a pretty interesting issue. A lot of clients write us about this because there's some special tricks, special things that you need to know and how to work with it. So I recommend you to watch this video. It's very interesting. It's my colleague Dimitri. He made this video, and as I told you, I recommend you to watch it. And also we released not long ago our new configurator. It fixed some small issues that we have, but also the most important feature that we will see is that it shows the memory available and which memory is our script using. It's a very expected feature from our clients. So we are hoping that it will fill the needs that you were asking for, because it's a very important issue. Okay. Okay. Now we are ready to start with our topic today, diagnostics. As I told you at first, it's a very interesting topic to talk about, because you can fix a lot of things by yourself, and this will make the problems to be shorter, to be better understandable, and you will learn a lot of about the device, and you can work with the devices better. So at first, I will present you the Diagnostics tab. This is our main tool that we use to show what's happening inside the device, right? In the Diagnostic tab that you may find on your left hand, the troubleshooting button. There you can find a lot of information. Many people try to select all the options, and they will not understand at first what's happening. So we are expecting you to try to understand every one of them, so you will get a lot of information about the device, but just the information that you need to solve the problem that you are facing. So at first, our first two options that you will see are this asterisk button and the time button. Okay, this first option is just to show you that you will have a good connection with the device. If you don't see any information and you start checking the options, for example, you are trying to solve a problem with the modem, and you don't see any data, so you don't know what's the problem. If you have a connection problem, or you have a problem with the modem, or you have another problem. So one thing that you can do first is to check this first option, the asterisk option, and you need to see one message per second, approximately. So it's first measure just to see what's happening. Okay, the time option gives you a message every 10 seconds, so it's very useful too. And also it's very useful when you are trying to save logs, because you will know, at least have some reference about the time in which the messages are coming, right? After that, I wanted to talk to you about the saving log options. To save logs, you just need to click here, the button, select the time, the folder in which you want to save these logs, and then start collecting logs, just that. At first, I can say that this option works better connected locally, of course, because when you try to do it remotely, you will see some messages. It depends totally on the quality of the connection. So you need to be careful sometimes. For example, if you are having cuts in the connection of the modem, if you try to save the logs using this option, you will see just when the device is connected. So it's not very useful, and you need to try to find another way to collect the logs, right? In general, for connection problems, maybe you will need to use local connection, or maybe you will need to save the log locally. There's options to save the log locally to the memory of the device or to the SD card. So you can ask us for how to collect this information. It's very useful. But okay, just contact us and we will help you to do that. It's very useful option too. Okay, I will go to the next slide, and we will talk now about navigation data, right? Navigation data, it's a channel options, channel information about how the data is being collected, right? About the position of the terminal. First tool that you have for this is this image that you can see here, that you can find in the device tab. There you will see the position, latitude, longitude, altitude, speed, if the device is moving, the angle, from the north to the position you are, the number of satellites that you are using for calculation, H-dope. It's a very important feature, let's say, variable that will show you how precise the position that you are getting from your terminal is, because this will give you at least some idea about how good the reception you are getting from the satellites, right? This we will talk a little more. We can talk a little about H-dope. A good H-dope, it's below 1. That's a very good precision for the localization. We can say that around 5, the precision is not good, and you will start seeing that after this number, you will get the points to be filtered. So if you see that the H-dope is very high, maybe you are having troubles with the antenna. Maybe the antenna is in front of some metallic part of the car. Maybe you need to put the antenna closer to a window if you are in a close position, in your office, for example. And so you can check this variable because it's very useful. Also, you have information about the GPS odometer. Is the odometer that the GPS counts itself. And also you have information about the motion. I already talked about the video about the motion detection, and that I recommend again to watch. Also, you have satellite information about GPS system, GLONASS system, and the SNR. SNR is the relation between the signal and the noise. So you have to better understand what's happening. You will see a small dot. It could be yellow, it could be green, it could be red. Red means that the signal is not that good, okay? And green, as you can see here, is the best signal that you can get. SNR, it should be as large as possible to be sure that the signal, that the position that you are getting is good, okay? What messages can you see now in the troubleshooting tab? You can see this first message saying that the terminal is moving and you are refreshing the coordinates of it, right? So you will get this message, yeah, cord refresh. If you see this second message, cord not refresh, it means that the terminal detects that the vehicle is stopped, is not moving. So it may detect small movements because of noise, because of problems with the connection, maybe interferences, small interferences. So the device decides that this is not worth to refresh the coordinates, and it will filter them. So you will see this message here. Also, you can see this message here. H-dope is high, as I told you. It means that the precision that you are getting from the position is not very good, and you need to work with the antenna, check the antenna connection, check if the antenna is not covered by some metal part. Try to make the antenna closer to a window, as I told you before. And also you can see this last message. It means that the coordinates are not being refreshed because he detects a jump that it's larger than the options that you set. If you go to the track tab in the configuration settings of the device, you will see that you have different parameters that will show you when the coordinates are being filtered. For example, if the satellites are not are less than 3 used for calculation, it will filter as default. So you can change and you can work a little with it. If the acceleration is larger than 20 meters per second square, you will get the coordinates also not refreshed, filtered. So you will see this kind of messages like this. And the last message that you can find is this message saying that there's shamming on the device. This message can appear sometimes. It's normal. Maybe some device is making some interference, and in general, it's not a problem if you find one message like this from time to time. But if you find it constantly, you need to start searching for the problem that is making this interference to appear. As I told you, it may be a metal part, it may be your other device that is interfering with your device, or it can be a problem with the connection of the antenna. So you need to check these 3 options in general, and you will find the problem that you are seeing. Let's go to the next one. Here we will talk about data transmission, as is another option that you can find in the troubleshooting tab. When you have successful transmission, you will see this kind of messages, right? Like seeming the device is trying to initialize using this SIM card. Remember that the device has 2 SIM cards, SIM 0 and SIM 1. Here you can see the APN that is set to connect. And then you will see this message saying that the connection is successful. If you see this kind of messages like this, it means that you are having troubles trying to connect to some server. In this case, is the server that we use to connect to get the new firmware updates, for example. Also, you can see these kind of messages saying that the device is trying to connect to some server. In this case, is some server monitoring server. Then you will see the connected server message, and then you will see these 2 messages that say that the message is sent at first, and the device is waiting for the CRC to come back. The CRC, as you may know, is the calculation that the device and the server make, and you will see that this CRC must be the same when it's coming back, as you can see here. So the device will send a message, and this device has a CRC, and the server, as a response, will send you the same CRC that the message has at first. So you will see this message saying that the communication was successful, right? But in case of some problem, you will see this error: server error, server CRC not RX. It means that either the server respond, but the answer that you receive is not correct. It has some problem. Maybe it's not well calculated, or maybe it didn't respond at all. Maybe you get 0 as a response. So you will get this message saying that the CRC is not correct. I saw this error a lot of time when you, for example, you use some monitoring server, and you forgot to configure your device in the monitoring server. In that case, the monitoring server will get the packet, but it will not answer to it. So take that into account. Maybe it will help you to solve some of this problem. And also, if there's some kind of problem, you will see this kind of message. For example, can connect to server 2 times, right? It means that the device tried to connect, but it didn't receive the answer to this connection. So we'll get this kind of messages. Also, I wanted to talk to you about the script, how to load the script. It's as you know, our clients are getting more practice using the scripts, and the scripts are becoming larger and larger. So when the scripts are very big, you will probably find that some problems may be found when you try to load them to our devices because of connection problems, because of connection quality. So it's a very common question at the server, technical service. So if everything goes okay, you will see this kind of message: connect to server script jump is okay. You will get this message a lot of time, depends on the size of the script. And finally, you will get a message like this: script complete, and that's it. But if you have some problems trying to get the script, you will get this kind of messages. Some of these messages will be so fast that you will not able to change from the command tab to the diagnostics tab and be able to see them. For example, this first one, it's a very common one. So what we can recommend is to open 2 windows of configurator, for example. And in one, you will be connected locally to the device, right? And switch to the diagnostic tab in this program open. And on the other configurator, you go to the remote configurator server and send the script from there, right? Send the command from there. So you will see the response immediately locally in the first window, and in the second window you will use it just to send the command, right? So this is a very common issue that maybe you don't remember which bar you need to use. Maybe you don't remember exactly which username you have. Maybe you try to add the .css extension to the script and it will fail. And if you don't see this message, because you will see it just once, you will think that the script is loading. So that's a very common issue, and I recommend to using this method with 2 windows so you can see what's happening. If you are not connected locally, anyway, you can connect remotely on one window, and in another window send the command. So you can do that too, and maybe you will be able to see this message too. Another message that you can get is this CRC message. As I told you, CRC, the device will receive the packet and will try to calculate the CRC and send it as a response. And if something goes wrong with the connection, you will see this kind of message. Starting one of the latest firmwares, the device will be able to receive this message, bad CRC message, up to 20 times. And if after 20 times you still receiving this error, the script loading will stop. So pay attention to it, and you will get this information. Also, you can see the loading process of the script through remote configurator, as you may know. That's a very new good feature that was added to configurator 5, right? And also you can see this message, no response to request. It means that the terminal tried to get a new package, but the server didn't respond on time. Most probably it's a connection issue. Pay attention to it. But as I told you, it will be able to ask for a packet up to 20 times. and it may continue loading the script. Next things I want to talk to you is about memory selection. Using memory, you can see what's happening with the points, right? When a new point is created, and you will see this message when a new point is created, right? If you get a message like this, it means that the point will not be saved for some reason. This message, it's very common when you have problems with your SD card. When the SD card is not working as expected, maybe it has some trouble, maybe you need to format it again, or maybe it has some problem and you need to change it. You will see this kind of message, like the device wants to save a new point, but it found a problem, so it will be destroyed. I recommend you to pay attention to it because it's a very common problem that we find. As I told you, you can try to format it. Maybe the device is very far away, so the first thing that you can do is try to format it and see if it starts working. But if still you see this kind of message, you need to try to change it. And also you will see the reasons for storing, for saving a new point. This first message will mean that you have some change in the inputs. As you know, the device will automatically save a new point when you have changes on the input. It will save up to 1 point per second, no more than that. So if you make some changes in the input, you will see this kind of message. Also, you can see this kind of message, runner 23. It means that you are getting a new point because of the behavior, the track behavior of the terminal. For example, by default, you will see that the device will save a new point each time it detects that the vehicle moved 300 meters. You can change that, you can adjust that. You can see that if the vehicle is moving faster than 30 kilometers per hour, it will save a new point. You can change that, you can adjust that. And also for the angle. If the angle, the direction of the movement moves more than 10 degrees, I think, by default, it will save a new point. So you will see this kind of message in the troubleshooting tab. And also, as you can see, as you know, you will get this message when the device is stopped or is moving, and you have set some time. After some time, it will save a new point. So you will see this kind of message there too. Now we will talk about GPS and GLONASS model. These messages are according to a protocol called NMEI, number 183. There are a lot of messages. There are messages that are not very important. The messages that are more important for us is RMC, CCA, and CSB. RMC will give you, at first, the coordinates, right? It will say in which part of the world you are, in the north part, in the southern part. It will tell you the eastern part and the western part of the world. So you will get this kind of information in this format. It's not the same as the one we used to, but it will be transformed. And if you really need to understand what's happening and what did this message says, there's a protocol, as I told you. I will write you here in the chat. And you can search for these messages that I told you, CNRMC, CNCCA, and CPCSB. You can search for the format for this message to better understand what they mean and what each field means. But the most important for us, it's the ones marked in yellow, because are the coordinates. In the Xi'an CCA, also you will receive the coordinates in the same format, but also in red, as you can see here. It's the number of satellites used for calculation, right? In this case, 12. And also in gray, you can see the H-dope, right? In this message. And finally, you will see two kind of message, CP CSV and CL CSV. CP CSV means the parameters of the GPS service, and CSV is the GLONASS parameters, right? And here, marked in green, you will see the number of satellites seen by GPS service, and in blue, you can see the number of GLONASS satellites seen by the device. So it's a very useful information, and as I told you, you can check the protocol if you need more information about these messages that you are getting from the model. Okay, let's go to the next slide. And this one is one of the most important for me, I think, and maybe you will agree on that. Because you will get a lot of messages, a lot of small problems with because it depends on the provider, because it depends on the SIM you're using, depends on the country you're trying to connect. So you will get a lot of problems from the modem. The first message that you will get, message can be different, it depends on the modem you are using, but this is more or less in general the message that you will see in all modems, right? And maybe the most important ones. You will see this message saying at first that the SIM was correctly written, right? If the device was able to read it, so you will see this first message, and you will see this second message if the SIM was not correctly read. Pay attention that it will be, at first, it can be anything, but most common problems are you are selecting, you put the SIM card in the incorrect slot. You are trying to use SIM 0, but you put it in the SIM 1. Remember that SIM 0 is the one closest to the edge of the device, at least in 7X devices. And that's the most common devices that we are selling today. Also, maybe there's a problem with the contacts of the device, or maybe you selected the wrong option in the settings. So pay attention to it. If you see this kind of message, maybe you have some problems there. The second message that you will get is the registration. These three messages means registration to different services, GCM, Edge, and so on. So it's a different message that you will get if you connect to different services. If you get the one as a second parameter for these messages, it means that is registered to home network. And the most important message for you, maybe if you are having troubles, it will be this second one. That is not, the number 3. The registration is denied. Why the registration is denied? In general, it can be a problem with the signal that the terminal is receiving, but also can be a problem with the provider. So in that case, at first, I recommend you to check how the signal is working, if the signal is okay. And signal level is the message that you can see here, right? I will talk a little later about it. But if you get a rejection from registration. First, check the signal. And then if you are still having troubles, try to check with the provider what's happening. And about the signal can be between 0 and 31. Being 31 the best signal that you can get, and 0 is the worst. Below 10, you will get some troubles connecting. It's not very good situation. So we can talk about good situation starting 15 to 20. About 20, we are talking about excellent signal, but below that, below 15, let's say, you may find some troubles. So pay attention to this message. It's very common and very important to have in mind. And finally, you will get this type of messages saying that the device is connecting correctly to the provider. So I will talk a little later. I will do some demonstration with the device so you can see the different message that you can get. And one important message that you can see also is the interference message. Again, if you receive one message from one from time to time, it's okay. But if you receive a lot of messages, maybe you need to check what's happening with antenna connection, and if you have some other device that is making some interference to the terminal. Messages about diagnostics, right? If you check the diagnostics tick, you will see this kind of messages. They are pretty understandable what's happening with the diagnostic. If you have a delay, if a condition is checked, if you are doing some math, if you need to save a new point, if you are setting the output to some value, or if you are using some audio message, or if you enable or disable some unit. So it's pretty normal, pretty understandable, and it will help you to debug your script. Another message that you can get is this script result equals to 0. It means that you have a script block, and the script block finished, and the result equals 0 means that everything was successful. If you receive another result, it means that maybe you have some trouble in your script. So you can check your script, and if you have some troubles, just contact us and we will try to find out what's happening. Another important message that you can get, this is not directly connected to diagnostic messages, but it may happen when you are using a new script and it's quite big, or maybe it has some trouble. Maybe you are in a loop, inside an infinite loop, so you will start getting these kind of messages, right? And you can use this command freemium to check the current frame memory, but now with the new configurator, you will see also in the device tab. But if you are not connected, or maybe you need to check it using comments through SMS, maybe using comments using your monitoring software, you can get that information using this command, and it's very helpful also. Below 10K, it's a quite tricky situation, so you need to pay attention to it. Maybe you will start getting strange behavior from the device, so pay attention to memory and these kind of messages that you can get from that troubleshooting tab. About Wi-Fi, we have messages that will say the signal level, right? Remember that it's negative value, so you will get a better signal if it's closer to 0, and if it's larger, you will get it will be farther from the antenna, so you will get this kind of messages. Also, you will see to which SSI the device is trying to connect. You will see a lot of messages saying that it's trying to find it. For example, if you have the device set as a client, you will see messages saying trying to connect to, right? Until you will find this message saying that this SSI that you were searching for was found. So you will try to connect, right? If everything goes okay, you will see this kind of message saying that you get a new IP address from the hub, right? Or from the antenna, from the router that you have, and saying which DNS, gateway, and different network information you receive. And also, you will get this message saying that the connection to a hub is true if you are connecting using the hub-to-hub connection. If it says false, it means that you are connected to a router. If you find out that you are connecting to a router, but you find out that this message says that you are connected to a hub, you have some problems. Maybe you need to reconfigure your router device, or in the worst case, you can contact us and we will try to find out and help you to solve this situation. Also, after getting the connection done, you will see this kind of messages saying that the connection is good and you are trying to send information and receive information from you will receive the CRC if you are doing a hub-to-hub connection, or you'll receive information if you are using it with a router. Also, messages from CAN. You will see this kind of message if you are set to attack, for example, this 32-bit tag. You will see here in red the ID, which is going to be stored in this tag, and which information from the whole message, which information, this part, is going to be saved to this tag. Also, you can see this kind of message as an error because in this case the device is trying to connect to the CAN network of the car and is getting no information, so it will show you a message saying timeout, saying that there's no connection. From Bluetooth, you will get not much information. It will say you just which information has been sent. You will see it if you have it configured to get exigner information. So it's not very common. We don't receive many questions about it, but if you select that option, you will see this kind of messages. Also, I will talk little about Iridium messages. It's it's not very common, but we see some of our clients have this kind of models with Iridium models. Which messages will you see? You will see at first this first message saying that the model is being turned on. Another important message is this one, saying that the signal level is around some number. You will get numbers from 0 to 5, being 5 the best signal that you can get, and 0 being the worst. As you may know, as Iridium system, it's quite sensible to different situations. So you need to be very, very careful with the antenna, put it in a good reception place. I would recommend at first to put it on the roof or your vehicle of your house if you are doing some tests, or or the terminal is in some fixed position. It should have 360 connection, let's say, to the sky. It needs to be everything. So in that case, you will get a good signal. But if there are some clouds, maybe the signal would not be so good. So you need to be very careful with that. And when you are sending a message, you will see this kind of exchange between the device and the module and the server that will receive this message. So at first you will see this saying that it is sending a message, and you will get this message when the message is sent successfully, and then it will end session, connection session, and it will turn off, right? So in general, you can see this kind of messages. Now I will share screen and I will show you some. One second. Here you can see configurator right now, and here what you can see. Of course, I'm in close position. I know having a very good GPS signal, but you can see here the feature that we add, the free memory variable here, and you will see a red green dot saying that everything is okay. Also here, first thing that you see that the antenna voltage is red. Why that happen? Well, in this case, it means that I have the GPS antenna disconnected. So you will see sometimes red, sometimes black. So if you see that's happening, you need to check antenna if everything is okay with the antenna. Maybe it's a failing connector, maybe it's some other trouble. So at first you need to check that, and you will see this problem fixed. Now I'm connecting antenna. As you can see, the antenna voltage is slash. So okay, now it's connected. So it's not red anymore, right? Let's go to the troubleshooting. We were talking about that. Okay, as I told you, first two options here. You can see that's now it's connecting. But I wanted to show you at first the GSM, because it's the one that brings more trouble. So I will reset the device now. So you can see all the. Let's clear this here. Now it's reconnecting. Okay. Now it's connecting back. And let's go to the troubleshooting. And we will see all the messages. Here you can see, for example, modem version. You can get that information from another part. And here, the message that I told you, right? It means that you have some trouble with the car. In this case, I have set the wrong option. I will go here and we'll put the SIM 0. Now it's set to SIM 0, and let's see what happens. Right, it is connecting. You will see different messages. Here are the registration messages. He's trying, as you can see. The answer is true. That it means that it's trying to find a network to connect to. And here, I saw one, but I should better read it. Okay. Here, this means that the connection is successfully, and it will continue connecting. And you will get other messages. Here I have the signal. As you can see, the signal here is not very good, 13, but it was able to connect. And here it start. In our case, in Russia, there's no problem. We in general we set the APN as blank, but in another country you will need to set that. As you can see, the provider will give me the information that I need to connect after some first exchange. You will see that. And also you will get different information: IP, secondary, primary address, secondary address. Now is 0. Now is the information received from the provider. Now it will be set, and here it will try to connect, and you will see, right, how it's connected, the IP received from the provider, and now it's connected, and now it's sending data. And if you check that here, that information, you will see that service is trying to connect to the server, to the different server. You will see different servers that it will connect. Your monitoring server, the primary, the secondary server, but also you will see connections to the firmware update server. You will see connections to the remote configuration server, and you also can see connections to the time server. There's a time server that you can set, and you will see connection to it. So as you can see here, I have some interference, but it's a closed place, so it's quite normal that I can get that message. So I think that's all that I wanted to show you. Now I'm waiting for your questions. If you have some doubts, I will try to help you right now. If something it's more complicated, we can help you as always using support at Galileosky.com. You can write us there, generate a ticket, and we will answer to the question that you have. Let's see if we have some questions from chat. Not right now. Let's see in the question tab. Not right now. Oh, let's see. No questions. Okay. Hello, Serge. Thanks. By the way, thanks for joining us. We have a question from Vikas. Hello, Vikas. Yeah, sometimes during log diagnostic, maybe the data is too much, so maybe you can see that. I recommend in that case, maybe you need to reinstall the configurator software using administrator rights. It sometimes helps because the device needs a driver installed in Windows to get information from it. And if you see this kind of troubles that it sometimes disconnect, maybe it's a problem with the rights. So I recommend you to do that at first as a first solution. How to limit data sent to server? Okay, the data sent to server, you can limit it using protocol tab, right? You go, I will share screen again. Here it is. And in the protocol tab, you select which information you want to send. That's an interesting problem. Sometimes our clients select information from head packet, and the server needs ensure that the head packet is quite small. Because it's like a presentation card, let's call it. The terminal will send this presentation card to the server saying, okay, I'm here, my name is this, my email, okay? And it not to be short. Some monitoring server will receive a huge head packet and will say, no, that's not, I don't understand it, and it will reject it. So I recommend you to keep the head packet as is. If you need to, maybe in some special application, you need to add some small data to it, and then select the data that you really want to be stored in the server using the main packet, right? And you can control the size of the packet using the ticks here, right? And you will see the size of it using this variable here. So in general, you will see the largest of them is this user array. So if you set it, you will see that the device will send 219 bytes, so it's quite big, and maybe you don't need it. So at first, I would recommend you not to select that, and be very careful to the data that you want to send, right? So the question, uh-huh, uh, okay, search it. He means positions. Positions. Well, if you see that you get a lot of data from the device, you need to select. When you set when you send information in motion, when you send information during stop, also check the minimum speed to set, and maybe the distance. Maybe you don't need these settings will make the track to be better, to look better, let's say. So maybe you don't need so much data, and maybe you can add change some of these parameters, and it will help you to send not much data. For example, some people want just to send information from time, right? I mean, 1 point per hour and no more than that. So in that case, you can set this distance for, I don't know, 30 kilometers. So you will get maybe information not so often, right? So it will help you to reduce the amount of data that you will send. Okay, let's go to the next question. Uh-huh. 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 Okay. Okay. I think Graham is helping us. Uh-huh. Tracker send position according movement and no movement plus extra points. Okay. Okay. When trackers start, it sends print information and position. Well, in that case, Serge, he's telling us when the devices start, you will get a lot of information. Well, maybe you are saving information, you are sending information when the devices start, that it was collecting when it was stopped. Maybe you disconnect the battery from it. So if you disconnect the battery, at some point the modem will shut off, and it will continue collecting information for about 2 hours. It depends on the charge of the battery, but more or less something like that. And when the device gets information again, it gets voltage again, it will connect the modem. I will send all the information that it has. So in that case, maybe you need to select how the device works with the voltage. As we always recommend, to connect the device to a constant voltage source. So the device will send the information from time to time, and it will not send all the information at once. So that's the solution, the advice that I can give you. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You want to use Iridium. Well, Iridium works in another way. Iridium, you can set it to send. There's an interesting video about Iridium that Dimitri also prepared. I think you can find it in the YouTube channel. It will send you information. You can set it to send information just when, for example, the device was disconnected for 1 hour, and it will send additional points. It will not send the information, the normal information, but it will send just additional points. So in that case, you can use Iridium without any problem. So because it will send just this additional information, you can set the size of this packet additionally. And the device will continue collecting data while it doesn't have a connection to the modem. It will continue collecting this data. And when it gets connection to modem again, it will send all this information again. But the additional point using Iridium will be, as I told you, an additional point. Okay. Yeah. In that case, Serge, you can use Iridium points, but don't worry about it. It will not be used Iridium to be sent. This all information that you are getting, it will not be used. I mean, you will not use Iridium for that. So we know that Iridium is pretty expensive. So we have some special features for it. Uh-huh. How to set, because asking me how to set enable protocol tags by OTA commands for one particular tag. You can use, there's a command, you can use bit. You need to search in the manual, or you can contact us and I will search the exact command that you will need to use, because here it will be not very useful. There's a command, I think it's main bit something, that you can set from bit to bit which tag, which protocol tag you want to add to your message. So yeah, you can be done using SMS. You can use it. You can set it using remote configurator, using command in remote configurator if you don't want to use, or you can't use the graphical interface. And also you can send this command using your monitoring software. If the monitoring software supports it, you can do that too. Uh-huh. Okay, search saying that extra points it's a problem. Okay, sure. You can contact us and we will try to help to solve this problem. Don't worry. There's a way to solve it for sure. Don't worry. Do we have some more questions? No, you're welcome, Serge. Thanks for your questions. Very interesting for you to share your experience, so we can help and be closer. That's always helpful for us, to be closer to our clients, to know what's happening on the field. And we, of course, we have our experience, but sometimes we have experience here in Russia, and what you see in India, it's totally different. For example, providers, that's very common issue. Providers, cell phone providers, they have their own rules, and we need to try to solve this problem with this connection. So always it's helpful. No, thank you, Graham. Yeah, for sure, because you will get the link to this webinar. And also you can check on our YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure that it will be published soon. No, thank you, Serge. And okay, if there is no more questions, I think it was a very nice to meet you, and I hope to see you soon in the next webinar. Yeah, Natalie just gave us the link to our channel. Okay, see you next time.